Hello and welcome along to Kaz Karting. It's the final round of the Rotax Max EuroTrophy for 2023. And our man, Kaz Poldermans, is a man on a mission. He's going to be piloting the Project E20 once again here at the home of British karting in the 803 in E20 Masters. But of course, this circuit, established back in 1994, is a bit of a testing challenge. So Kaz had to do one thing: get himself steeled and ready and get out for some practice on this kart that can do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.5 seconds and hit a maximum velocity of 135 kph. But as they roared out of the pit lane, we had one more bit of business to do, and that is to talk you through a lap here at Paul Fletcher International. Out of the iconic dummy grid and onto the start-finish straight went Kaz on one of his first tours around the circuit. Heading down the start-finish straight into the Bruno Ferrari S's, through the right and through the left and underneath the Litchfield Bridge. Hard onto the left-hander here at the banking, where you're pulling nearly 2 times the force of gravity. You can hear the kart scraping through the ground clearance. Into the 90 left, over the bridge, into the 90 right. Make sure you don't hit the curbs aggressively, because that can pitch the kart off the circuit. Up to full speed, hard on the brakes and into the first of 2 180-degree hairpins. Then it's a right first of all. You've got a left to deal with. There's Taze Dams, the 721 from Belgium, who took the E20 Seniors crown this year. As he gets past Kaz heading into the Fullerton S's, named after British karting legend Terry Fullerton. Did you know he used to race with Ayrton Senna back in the 70s? Into Bobby Game Corner, the sweeping 90 right. And the final section here at this 1,382 metre circuit, it's the Mike Wilson Complex. And the final set of corners is a left-right chicane, and out of the final corner, pedal to the electric metal, and maybe even use a bit of boost whilst you're at it there, Kaz. Unfortunately, Kaz, due to an arm injury, would not take part in the heats, but he did take a trip into the commentary box before Heat 2 and speak to yours truly on the live stream, which we might have for you a little bit later. But starting good on the pre-final, of course, no Andreas Mattis. He opted to not start and would end up wrapping the title anyway. And so Kaz would be behind, of course, Gilberto Loaca from Switzerland, Hector Ramirez from Chile, the flag marshal out of the way, and the red lights were quickly on and off. But Kaz got a great start. He managed to get past Hector early doors on the initial start phase, got the pedal down, and really took it to the Chilean. So they went up over the banking for the first time, and then, not too long after, towards the end of lap 1, Kaz would also overtake Gilberto too and take the class lead. But over the duration of the race, there seemed to be a little bit of a drama for Kaz, because not only was he fighting an arm injury, he was also suddenly falling back. So was there a power delivery issue? Well, there clearly was with the number 803 from Utrecht in the Netherlands, because he found out that the screw that helps to adjust the throttle positioning meant that Kaz was so far down on power, he only had 34% of power for the second part of the race, so he let all the juniors get by. Very shrewd driving, but he also had to battle through the arm injury that he sustained the previous day. So Kaz would end up taking 3rd position at the end of the pre-final. So for the pre-final, Gilberto would take the win ahead of Hector, Kaz rounding out the top 3 with Andreas Mattis already confirmed as E20 Masters champion. But with the throttle issue fixed, some tyre pressure adjustments to be made, and of course that wonderful, wonderful Project E20 kart fully charged. And on the way to the grid as tradition, with his Rotax mechanic, it was Ronald Montfoort, also owner of Montfoort Motorsports and is a race director in the Dutch National Championships. Did you also know he mechanicked me when I went out in April the 2022 at Karting Genk? Yeah, interesting trivia for you folks. But with all the pomp and circumstance out of the way, we'd have to get underway with the warm-up lap, and the final was slightly shortened because it would end up being 8 minutes plus an additional lap, as opposed to 9 minutes like we had in the pre-final. So there's your grid for the final. Kaz would be starting ahead of Andreas, with Gilberto and Hector lining up on the front row. And at the start, well, what can you say? Kaz Poldemans has got those starts down pat. He got past Hector and Gilberto immediately, and it was pretty much very close before the bridge, but Kaz managed to weather the storm and get out in front, being chased down by Andreas Martis in the meantime in the 887. Seniors were battling at the front tooth and nail because there was also a ticket up for grabs for the senior event winner. Then Andreas would pass Kaz. Well, no surprise there, really, with the amount of experience that man has. And he's also a Rotax Germany organiser as well to boot. But then Kaz would still have to battle through and have to mitigate the best out of the arm injury. But he also found himself passed by Gilberto and Hector towards the mid part of the race. And, well, Gilberto did have a bit of a spin. Kaz got past him. And then it was a run to the line. They both ran out of boost. And Kaz would lose out by 0.3 of a second at the end of the race after Gilberto had passed him. So the final, done and dusted. That was the season at an end. Andreas Matis, the new champion, takes the win ahead of Hector. Gilberto and Kaz rounding out the top 4. But in the championship, well done. Hey, success Kaz. P3, well done buddy. And also with that, he also got to stand on the podium. How's about that to end a season as an international karting racer? See you next time on an edition of Kaz Karting. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe whilst you're at it. See you again soon. Todsins.